Let me know where you are joining from. Let me know where you are connecting from today on YouTube, on Instagram. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes. Hi, Mike. Hi, Olua Bukala. Good evening. How are you today? Let me know where you are joining from. Day 3, and we are looking at how abuse affects the victim. Good evening, Victor. Good evening, Lady PSG. How are you doing today? YouTube. Okay, so YouTubers, hi, good evening, good evening. How are you doing? How's your day been? How has your day been? Awesome. So yesterday we are looking at how abuse affects the victims. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Yes, it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we are absolutely raising awareness up in here, up in here. Day 1, we talked about what abuse is and the different kinds of abuse. We did say that abuse is not just physical, it can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can be economic or financial, it can be sexual, it can be neglect. Neglect is also a form of abuse. And then yesterday we started to look at some signs of abuse. How do you know if someone that is close to you, for instance, is being abused? Or how do you know if you yourself you are experiencing abuse? Because knowledge is power. And just like the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So it's important that we create this awareness, that we let people understand what abuse really is. And just, I read the statistics to us the very first night, the alarming statistics of the number of people who actually are experiencing abuse. Those who report abuse are less than half of people who actually experience those abuse. Why don't they report it? It's something that we'll still look at, at some point during this conversation within the 15 days. So tonight we are going to look at signs, right? How abuse affects the victim. So share the link, get people that this will benefit to connect with us tonight as we have this interesting conversation. And again, if you have any question tonight, please use the question icon, right, to put your question in, and then we will be able to do our best to answer your questions. So again, you are very welcome. If you're meeting me for the first time, I am the Soul Doctor. My name is Jola-Grace Emmanuel, and I love to say I am committed to helping you heal, grow, and thrive, because healing on its own is actually not the end. Healing is just a means to an end. You need to heal because you carry value, and your world is waiting for you to manifest that value. Awesome, 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 awesome. So, like I've said that abuse is not just physical. Good evening, Mama Funke. Good evening. So good to see you. I trust, I know you are doing very well. Stephanie, good evening. How are you doing? Thank you for connecting. Official Kinney, good evening. Thank you for connecting. I trust you are keeping well as well. So we have already highlighted that abuse is not just physical, right? A lot of times when people talk about, I believe it's changing now because of education, But before, when they say abuse, you just think physical, and so you are looking for the red eye, you are looking for the bruises on the body, you are looking for, show me where the attack is. Do you have any evidence that this person, hit you, pushed you down, and all of that? But abuse doesn't always leave a scar, a physical scar, right? Of course, sometimes it does, but it doesn't always leave a physical scar. But abuse actually affects the victims in a lot of ways. There's something in psychology called the mind-body connection. Now, man is a tripartite being. You are three in one. You are a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a body. And the truth is, your soul consists of your will, your mind, and your emotions. And a lot of things that happens in your soul affect your body. What happens in your body affect your soul. So, for instance, you will have a presentation to make at work, right? And even though you've prepared and all of that, Joyce Modish, hi, good evening. Tommy Fash, good evening as well. Good to see you. Thank you so much for connecting. So you have this presentation to make at work, and all of your top bosses are going to be there, right? And you've done everything that you need to do, but then you realize that the time of the presentation is coming, and you start to feel anxious, and you're panicking, and you're like, oh my God, I'm anxious, I'm panicking. Oh, what's going to happen? And most of the time you realize that you are pressed, right? You're like, I need to go to the bathroom. That's something physical. In some instances, you realize that your hands start shaking, or your legs start shaking, or you start sweating. Hi, good evening. You're very welcome, Ashabi. Not a problem at all. Hope you're good today. You realize that there are physical manifestation of the panic that you are experiencing, or the anxiety that you're experiencing, right? Nobody has put you inside a hot sun. Why are you sweating? It's not as if you just drank a gallon of water. Why do you need to go to the toilet? But because the anxiety or the panic is happening in the realm of your soul, of your emotions, right, is manifesting in your body, right? So it's important for us to know that there's an interconnectivity between your soul, your spirit, and your body. That is why 3 John 2 says, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. And I dare to say that the prosperity of your soul is a foundation for the prosperity of every other area of your life. And I'll explain what I mean, right? Because oftentimes, Pastor Mercy, good evening. Frizzle B, hi, good evening. Thank you for connecting tonight. Hope you are keeping very well. And I will explain this, why I said the prosperity of your soul is the foundation for the prosperity of every other area of your life, right? And when I say that, I mean your body and I mean your spirit. Now, I like to use this very vivid illustration, right, to help us drive this point home. Now, for the single ladies, so let me use it. I'll probably use 2 different examples. So single ladies, good evening, and you're really trusting God for this tall, dark, handsome, wealthy, spiritual guy and everything. And then there's this guy in your church, he fits everything, he ticks all the boxes, right? And it's a prayer, prayer warrior, or prayer somebody. If you praise like this, and then your pastor calls you to his office one day and say, oh, Sister Lagbaja. I've started with my names. See, says, okay, maybe I should know it's what you call Lagbaja. Sister Tamedu. Oh my God, Jola Kai. Jola, stop it. Be posh, because you're a posh girl, Why you say Lagbaja and Tamedu? Oh my God. I was telling someone tonight, I'm like, okay, some people don't know this part of me, this playful, just unserious part of me. Yes, but I do have some sanguine inside of me, So sometimes it comes out and it's hard to do. So you just have to bear with me. So imagine you just say, okay, Pastor goes and say, okay, so Sister Tamedu, Brother Lagbaja. Oh yeah, Brother Lagbaja. He's single, and all of that. So, yeah. I mean, I would love for you to, date him, connect with him and everything. And then Sister Tamedu is like, wow, oh my God, oh, Pastor, thank you so much. Oh, God has answered my prayers. And then the pastor said, there's one problem. It's not a big problem. It's just a small problem, right? Are you tracking with me? Mhm. It's not a big problem. It's just a small problem. You know, during the week, we just learned that Brother Lagbaja, has developed some mental challenges, and now he's at the psychiatric hospital. But I mean, he's still tall, he's still handsome, he's still loaded. In fact, we believe he's still spiritual. Yes, he can't pray, but his spirit is there. We just, okay, guys, do you think Sister Tamedu will be like, oh yes, Pastor, what do you think Sister Tamedu will do? At that point in time, excuse me, what do you seriously think that Sister Tamedu will do at that point in time? Like, okay, Pastor, can I go? Somebody say, can I go and pray? Can I go and pray about it? I was say, run. Like, but her sister, there's nothing. He's still tall. He's dark. He's still handsome now. His face hasn't changed. His pocket is still okay. It's just more mental problem. Just cause just one of the knobs in the head that is losing the. You are not going to stay. You're not going to, as far as you're concerned, at that point in time, you don't even see any handsomeness. You don't see any spirituality. You don't see anything. Or, a second example, there's this brother in your church, or let me even now use sister in your church, very spiritual. If she holds your hand and pray for you like this, tomorrow you will see the answer to your prayer. You get to church when I say, where is sister, Sister, I don't know, I've forgotten. I'm trying to Sister Plantain. Sometimes I don't believe myself. Where is Sister Plantain? I'm like, Sister Plantain did not come to church. Where she's in the hospital. Which hospital? Then they tell you the hospital. Now the hospital is a psychiatric hospital. You get and you tell the nurses, oh, good evening, please. I want to see Mrs. This one. And they're like, oh, yeah, but she's here. She's in the psychiatric. She's in the ward 8. Oh, please, I need to see her because she needs to pray for me. At that point in time, what do you think the nurses will do? They will just whisper to each other, we have another patient. Because at that point in time, right, something is wrong with this person's mind. Therefore, everything is wrong with their being. At that point in time, they cannot even dress themselves. They can't. Nothing is wrong with their eyes, they can see. Nothing is wrong with their hand is working. Nothing is wrong with their leg. But they cannot dress themselves because something is wrong with their mind, which is a part of their soul. Therefore, 3 John 2, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So when your soul is prospering, meaning that every other area of your life prospers. Now, let us be honest. Have you ever been in a low mood, in a situation where something happened, you just feel really sad, you feel down, and truly, you don't even feel like praying? They say you should come and pray, you're like, pray. Oh, please, let me just be for now. I've been there. At that point in time, you are so low emotionally, you're like, I don't have the energy to even pray. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Now, your soul consists of your will, your mind, and your emotion. Now, abuse chips away the soul of the victim, which is why I said is a cruel crime against humanity. Abuse is a crime against the very essence of a human being, because the most important part of that human being is what you are attacking, the mind, you're attacking the soul. So with every word, yesterday we looked at some of the signs, how you can know if somebody keeps looking at you every day and telling you are stupid, you are foolish, you don't have brain. Look at you, you are so ugly. Look at your legs, they are okay. Look at your nose, they are very flat. Look at this. And they keep saying that to you every day. It is what? It is eating away your soul. It is chipping away your soul. And some people's soul is dry. So think about an apple, right? Every incident of abuse is like taking a chunk of that apple, taking a chunk of that apple, taking a chunk of that apple until there is no flesh on the apple again, and all you just see is the brown thing in the middle of the apple. And so a lot of people that have gone through traumatic experiences, their very being, their very essence is no longer there. They are just a walking shadow. Just a walking shadow. Just a walking shadow of themselves. And that is not God's mind for us. That's not God's mind for us. So, like I said, abuse doesn't leave physical scars. It touches the mind, it touches the soul, it touches relationships. Now, I will make a summary of 4 different areas, and then I will break it down in a bit. So please share this live on YouTube, on Instagram. I'm working so hard for us to also be able to go live on TikTok because I got some requests. Hopefully I tried tonight, but I was running late. Like, okay, I'll leave it. We'll do it maybe another day. Right? So first of all, abuse impacts yourself. Abuse affects your esteem. Abuse, trauma, and when I say abuse is trauma, remember we said the trauma can happen when you are a child. So childhood trauma, adulthood trauma, right? It affects the way you see yourself. It affects the way you see yourself. So your self-esteem, it erodes your self-esteem away. The abuse erodes your self-esteem. Now, because this person doesn't regard you, belittle you in public, never thinks that you can do anything right, thinks that you are so dumb, thinks that, nothing good, there's nothing good about you, and just keeps putting you down, hits you, does all of those things to you, then you begin to interpret the situation to say, I must be really, there's nothing good about me. And guess what? As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks in his heart. So if you think you are not good enough, then you will not be good enough. But how did you start thinking that you are not good enough? Because there is someone in your life who made you feel that you are not good enough. And I say this, any relationship, yes, we're talking about domestic violence and abuse, but any relationship in your life that constantly makes you feel not enough, you need to run away from that kind of relationship. Because it's only a matter of time. You are a sum total of the 5 closest people to you. The 5 closest people, the people that speak into your life, they either build you up or they are tearing you down. It doesn't matter who they are. They either build you up or they are tearing you down. So abuse affects your perception of yourself. You begin to think, I can't do anything wrong, so I won't even bother trying. Oh, go for masters? No, can't go for masters. There's nothing. It's not people like me that are doing masters. Although I don't have anything to offer. I'm not even good enough. So you begin to have all of this negative opinion of yourself. You begin to talk down at yourself, negative self-talk. You look at other people and you compare yourself to them and you put yourself all the way down. I'm not good enough. You don't look after yourself. You don't take care of yourself. Oh, yes. The 5 people around you, who are the people that constantly speak into your life? Who are the people that you constantly listen to? That is why sometimes, it's funny. There sometimes I have some funny linguas and I hang around my brothers, my sisters, my family, and then we're talking 2 weeks later, they're like, and then they say that, they're like, you see what you have done because I was hanging around you, now I'm saying this thing, right? Because there's a way, and that's why I say relationships are spiritual. Relationships are powerful, which is why you can't toy with relationships, right? Now, the words that we speak, they have power. Our words are spirit. Just like God, our words are powerful. And so the people that speak to you, right, they are, I don't want to use the word contaminating, right? But they are putting their spirit inside you. You are putting your spirit inside them. Just by words. Words are powerful. Words are so powerful. Who are the people that are speaking into your life? Who are the people that are around you? So if there's someone in your life that constantly speaks negative words to you, negative words to you, negative words to you, over time, you believe it. There was a research that was done some time ago. They separated two students, university students, a college student, into two groups. And one group, every day, they will look at them and they will tell them, you guys are awesome, you are intelligent, we believe you, you are the best, there's no one like you, you are this, you are that. They will pump them up with positivity. The second group, they'll tell them, you guys are so dumb, you can't pass your exams, you are so stupid, you are foolish, negative words. Guess what? The ones that were speaking positive words to all passed in flying colors. The other ones woefully failed their exams because of the power of words. So words at trauma abuse will distort the perception of yourself. You will not be able to think anything good about yourself. I remember now I was talking about at the point where I exited, that the way I saw myself was like, if I was to talk about me at that point in time, I felt like a piece of a rotten bread, like it just, rotten bread, stale bread. That was what I felt I was worth at that point in time because of the way I'd been treated. I didn't, it's so useless. And that's what abuse does. So even if somebody's coming to say to you, oh, you are this, you are that, you can't fathom what they're saying. You can't understand what they're saying, because as far as you are concerned, you have lived your life in a certain way for a long period of time, and you believe what that person has said about you. Which is why I remember I talked about statistics of divorce some time ago, and let me see if I can remember now. And I said 64, it might not be accurate, but about 67 or 64% of second marriages end in divorce, and about 74% of third marriages end in divorce. And that is a very high statistics. And we are wondering why. Why is 74% of third marriages, by the third time you should get it right? Is it that something is wrong with marriage or something is wrong with those people? The answer is no. The only issue is the people involved are not healed. So imagine somebody coming from that kind of a traumatic past, and it can be childhood, it can be adulthood, and you haven't healed, and you don't see yourself as anything good, and then somebody comes into your life and they are trying to love you. Listen, you cannot accept that love. You will frustrate that person because you are not healed. If you don't heal, somebody said, if you don't heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on the people. If you don't heal from what caught you, you will bleed on the people who have not hurt you. That's why healing is non-negotiable. Healing is as important as, is health as important as whatever it is you think is so important in your life. Because if you don't get healed, you will be stagnated in life. You'll be stuck. You'll find yourself going round and round in the same circle. And you say, why do I keep attracting the same type of people that treat me the same way? Because you are not healed. And see, the law of vibration is the primary law. It is primary to the law of attraction. Oh, I remember I was having a master class for matured single the other day, and we're talking about, okay, I want to attract the kind of man that I want. I want to attract the kind of woman that I want. What is the kind of man that you want? What kind of woman do you write the list down and everything? And I said, yes, that is fine. But what kind of man are you, and what kind of woman are you right now? Because you will only attract what you vibrate. What are you vibrating? What are you vibrating? Are you vibrating low esteem? Are you vibrating not good enough? Are you vibrating inadequacy? Are you vibrating hurt? Are you vibrating anger? Are you vibrating neediness? I need somebody. I'm not complete. I need. You will attract what you're vibrating. Dr. Florence, good evening. T.M. McKeans, Grace, hi, good evening all. Thank you so much for connecting with us tonight. So, trauma, abuse will affect the perception of yourself, how you see yourself. Secondly, trauma and abuse will affect your perception of other people around you. All right? So you will begin to think that everybody is that person that hurt you. Now, remember I said this the first day, abuse is not gender biased. So whatever example I'm using is not because I'm in favor of any gender. It's just an example. Abuse is not gender biased. So a guy breaks your heart, a guy hurts you, and you go about, men are this. I'm not going to say the word. Men are, the S word. Men are that. Men are this. And then you are a guy, a woman breaks your heart, you go, all women are the B word. They are this, they are that. So you begin to what? Generalize. I was coaching someone one day, and the person was in this state, and I was like, okay, how many men are in the world? So let's even say, I don't know who a magnanimous figure. Let's say 1,000. I mean, if you dated 1,000 men, then I don't know. I'm not judging. Okay? We listen. We don't judge. We listen. We don't judge. Let's just say yes. You've dated 5,000 men. Out of the 4 billion men, please, what is it? Where are the mathematicians? What is the fraction? I mean, the percentage of that to 4 billion? We're even being generous. 5,000 to 4 billion. That is insignificant, inconsequential. That is not enough to then decide that all of the men in the world are this, or there are no good men again in the world, or there are no good women again in the world. All the women like this, all men from this place are like this, all women from this place are like this. It is the abuse that is talking. And if you don't heal, guess what? You will keep attracting the kind of people that will be hurting you. You have to heal. Linda, hi, good evening. Mido Julie, hi, good evening. Thank you for connecting. I see you all. Thank you for connecting as well. Awesome. Okay, so trauma affects your perception of other people. Now you begin to suspect every relationship, anybody that comes near you, you're suspecting them. Oh, what is he up to? Somebody just smiles at you innocently. What are you smiling at me for? Nonsense. That's how they will be smiling. It's a lie. Oh. I know what they're looking for. Nonsense. Get out. You don't know this person before. You don't even. I think I heard a funny story of I think this was the lady was going for an interview and met this guy at the train station, and the guy was just innocently trying to be nice and help her, and things fell down and everything like that, and she was just was rude to the guy, swore at the guy and everything. And she got to the interview, and guess who was on the board of the interview? The same guy. Of course, she didn't get the job. However, that guy didn't offend her. Another person offended her, and then she believes that any guy that is nice to her, they are looking for something. You have to heal. It is one person or 2 people or 3 people or 4 people or 5 people that hurt you, not the whole world. Why are you mad at other people in your life? And so you go into relationships suspecting people. You go into relationship self-sabotaging. You go into the relationship on the attack mode. Before the person says, hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Give me your phone. Where's this? Where's that? I've seen real life story victims that became perpetrators. Victim. This lady was a big victim. They called me that she was abusing her husband. It was not funny. If you don't heal, you will bleed on people who have not hurt you, and you will self-sabotage. You will chase away all of the nice people, all of the good people that God is sending into your life to help you. You will chase them away. This is what abuse does. This is what abuse does. It distorts your perception of people. So the lenses that you're beginning to use to see people, is that the lens of hurt? The lens of hurt. The lens of hurt. And you need to rise above it. You need to heal and realize that it's one person that hurt you, and make peace. Rise above it. Learn from your mistake and move on. Because I say to people, I say, listen, right? Love is beautiful. Because whatsoever God, now I remember, let me see if I can quickly get to that page. At the end of chapter, so in my book, right, Street Sense for Good Girls, there's a page, there's a chapter there where we talked about boundaries in romantic relationships, right? If you have not gotten this book, you've been through any kind of trauma, or even you just want to learn about you're a good girl or you're a good guy, and you realize that you're always nice and people take you for granted, you need to get this book, right? So in chapter 6, I said love is not enough, and then we talked about romantic relationships, and we talked about myths about love. Love is enough, that love is not enough. We talked about all of that, and then it's just the end bit that I want to read to you. We looked at some green flags and some red flags as well, right? Now, so I said here, even though romantic love is a beautiful thing, it can also hurt if we don't get it right. Love is regarded as one of the most profound and beautiful experiences we can have as human beings. However, it can also be a source of huge pain and suffering. That is why sometimes trauma causes a sharp pain in the chest. So I'm still coming to talk about the physical effect of trauma in our lives. And yesterday, I started to say that trauma can settle in your body and cause diseases. I'm coming to that, right? And for a lot of people, a lot of clients that I've spoken with, even me, they will come and say, all the books are on Amazon. All the books are on Amazon. So this is Street Sense for Good Girls. I've got Trauma Healing Prayer Guide for parents, so for people whose children have you've experienced trauma and your children are affected. You need to get that book and pray for them. It's a daily devotion. I have the Regrets Trap, where you feel I made a mistake. Sometimes things happen to you. It's not as if you made it happen to you. But with the regret trap, you made a mistake. You did something you shouldn't have done, trusted somebody you shouldn't have trusted, and you're like, oh my God, I regret doing that too. I wish, what if that one will help you to get above that and then rise above your past, whatever kind of past it is, you can rise above it. And then From Pain to Purpose, also, they are all on Amazon. You can get them on Amazon as well, anywhere you are. If you are in Nigeria as well and you want the book, you can send us a DM, okay? And we'll get our representative in Nigeria to also handle that for you. So I was saying that a lot of people that I've worked with, and including myself, at some point in time, in fact, I remember I used to feel that pain a lot here in the middle of your chest. Trauma. At the height of the emotional pain, you feel a sharp pain in the middle of your chest, here in the middle, just sharp, as if somebody is putting a needle in your pain, in your chest. But nobody's putting a needle in your chest. It's just emotions. You are experiencing deep emotional pain, right? Heartbreak and trauma have far-reaching consequences that affect us deeply, impacting our emotional and psychological well-being, as well as our biological and physical health. Listen, where am I? As well as our biological and physical health, and leaving lasting scars on both our body and mind. The hurt that accompanies love can be overwhelming, leaving individuals feeling vulnerable, shattered, and questioning the very nature of their essence as well as their self-love. I was speaking to someone recently, and the person was like, why I'm finding it so difficult to let go, to move away from this person that hurts me. And it was like an intimate relationship. And I said, you have to be to be patient with yourself. You have to give yourself leeway because the relationship had emotions. Once there's emotional connection in a relationship, even when it becomes toxic, it's usually difficult to break free. That is why a lot of times you need professional help to help you navigate and reframe the things that you are saying. And that is why a lot of people, die in relationships because emotions are involved and they can be overwhelming, right? So the individuals, they feel vulnerable, shattered, they question their self-worth. When we love deeply, we invest our emotions, our hopes and dreams in another person. And this creates an attachment that can be both exhilarating and devastating at the same time. They say the people that love you most are the people that hurt you the most. Somebody walking down the road looks at you and calls you stupid. You don't even stay in your mind for 5 seconds because you're like, I don't even know you. Like, you must be drunk. But someone that you are intimate with, that you love deeply, opens their mouth and calls you stupid, it hurts you from the hair on your head all through to the toes of your feet. Right? When the fear of loss, rejection, or abandonment can intensify our anxiety, insecurity, despair. Furthermore, unmet expectations, unbalanced emotional investment, and trust issues can also increase the pain, leading to feelings of disappointment, anger, and betrayal. Okay, let me just. Okay, so it is important to heal from love-related heartbreaks before getting into another romantic relationship. Because if you do not heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on the person that did not hurt you. Heal before you deal. Reflect on past experiences. Cultivate self-compassion. Be patient with yourself. Seek professional help if needed. Make sure there is a fit and you both commit to putting effort to make that relationship work. And I said it is street sense to cultivate healthy boundaries in romantic relationships so that you can avoid pain and hurt. And oftentimes, so that's just a snippet from, Street Sense for Good Girls. What am I trying to say? Love is beautiful. God created love. But if you don't learn the lessons, right, from the previous relationships you've had and go through the process of healing, it will be a catch-22 situation for you, right? And so that is so important. Trauma will distort the perception of other people. Now, number 4, trauma will distort the perception of the world. You get angry with the world. You're not only angry with people, you're not only angry with yourself, you get angry with the world. Hi, good evening. I see you all. Sorry, this is my. Can you still hear me? I think my network. Not sure what's going on. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. I feel frozen. Am I frozen? Good evening, good evening, good evening. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. 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 Okay, you can hear me. Awesome. Looks as if I was frozen for a minute. Yes, you can hear me. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Taiwo. Hi, good evening. So, trauma, right? Number 3, distort your perception of the world. You begin to say to yourself, this world is a wicked place. You'd never have anything to say about the world. When people are saying, oh, God, it's all such a beautiful day. What's beautiful about the day? We are just be managing. Everywhere, don't scatter. You always are negative about the world. You don't see anything positive in the world. Your view is acute negativity. And that's why sometimes when I meet people who are very negative, I'm not upset with them. I don't judge them. I'm just wondering what happened to this person. I'm just wondering who hurts this person. I'm just wondering what went wrong. Something went wrong at some point in time because this person was not born like this. Which is why I said, listen, the abuse is not your fault. It happened to you. It happened to you. Unfortunately, it shouldn't have happened, but it happened to you. Now, guess what? Healing is your responsibility. Healing is the gift you give to yourself after experiencing any kind of trauma. Because if you don't, you are going to self-sabotage. And so trauma distorts your perception of the world. You just think the world is not fair. You are the kind of person that goes on and says, this world is not fair. And everything, anybody says that is not fair. It's not okay. It's not right. They are discriminating against me. They are judging me. They are this. It's like the world is against you. But one person hurt you. Or two people hurt you. Or three people hurt you. Now you think the world is cruel. The world is a bad place. Nothing good is in this world. Every day you wake up, you are upset. You are angry. Your face is always wrong. Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Have we ever seen a wicked toddler or a wicked baby? Or angry or wicked baby? No, every child is born sweet. You see them, they are so sweet. They are so, that angry person that when they were a child, everybody was, oh, she's so sweet. Oh, he's so sweet. Something happened. Something went wrong. The prophet said, when they went to the prophet to say, oh, alas, prophet, the axe has fallen into the stream, the water. He said, show me where it fell. Where is the point that it fell inside there, so that we can retrieve it. And see, life is beautiful. I'm telling you, life is sweet. Life is amazing. God has made this world, it's such a beautiful world. There are good people in this world. Good people. Because trauma will tell you that, the world is filled with wicked people. This world, wicked. Don't trust anybody, this world, people are wicked. Those great grandma and grandma and those people that are telling you those things, somebody hurt them. Yes. Somebody hurt them. Say, you are the one that even faces, you are pregnant. Don't go out, don't tell anybody till you give birth. I'm like, so are they going to come and take the baby from your womb or what? I don't understand. You are traveling. They don't want to keep everything secret because they think that the world is after them. Aren't you a child of God? Do you know? The Bible says in Ephesians, we are seated with Christ in heavenly places. Imagine a big, long dining table. Christ is at the head of that table. You are seated on that table. What harm wants to come and meet you where Christ is? But because somebody hurt you at some point in time, that anger, that distortion, trauma can be passed from generation to generation. That's why see, healing is not even a joking matter. If you know what is at stake, you will heal. You will run and say, no, I must heal. Because you're not just healing your soul. I'm coming to that next. You're also healing your spirit. Because number 4, trauma will distort your perception of God. I've been there, so I know what I'm talking about. You can come to a place where you're like, God, I don't know. And yesterday I also mentioned spiritual abuse, that also happens. When somebody that's supposed to represent God, right, misrepresents God to you. You can say, okay, no, this person is behaving like this. I don't want to have anything to do with church again. I know people who are not going to church again, who are not like, they're just there laid back. I'm still a Christian. Let me just be worshiping God on my own at home. Because they've been hurt. Trauma distorts your perception of God. It makes you to begin to see God in a way you're not supposed to see God. And let me apologize on behalf of everyone who has been in a spiritual in a place of spiritual authority that has hurt you, that made you think that God is not good, or God is not kind, or God is not almighty again, sorry, right? Sorry. But I want you to know that human being, a man of God or a woman of God, is still a man and a woman. And your connection and your relationships must be directly to God, which is why I think I said it a few days ago, God does not have grandchildren. We are all children of God. And one of the things, and till tomorrow, I'm so grateful to God for my parents. See, heritage, people talk about heritage, inheritance rather, right? Oh, this estate, that estate. I believe the best inheritance you can pass to your children is faith. When your children, when you've trained your children in the way they should go, you've taught them the way of the Lord, and by themselves they can say, no, this is not about you, mom and dad, this is about me and God. I now have this one-on-one with God. I know God for myself. That is the greatest inheritance any parent can give to a child. And for me, so I'll share this real quick. For me, at the point that I exited, and I was in a state of despondency, and I was like, honestly, this is just really horrible. I don't know where to go from here. I was always crying. I was just lost. I was confused. I was asking God so many questions. So God, I don't understand. I don't understand. This is stop. This is advice. So I remember that I was with my auntie and my uncle then, and they were like, oh, it's time to go to church. And I was like, I'm not going to church. You people can go to church, but I don't want to go to church. He said, wow, it's a nice church. I said, no, I don't want to go to church. Because for me, I felt I have beef with God. Why would God allow me to be abused like this? Why? That was my first question. Why? It's not fair. I tried to do all the right things, and inside this book, I'm not going to read it to you. I don't have time. You can also get a soft copy, right? I wrote the story before the sense, right? The story before the sense. So before sense, because we're talking about street sense. So before I got street sense, there was a story. It was, and I was just there. I was like, God, no, I'm not sure. I want to keep serving you. I'm not sure. This is just too hard. This is really sad. How could I have done all of these things and yet you allowed all of this to happen to me? I just felt, no, this is not fair. This is so sad. And in the place of my questioning, God told me some things. He said, number one, that person that made you think I'm not a good God is not me. Meaning, human beings are not good. Sorry, I don't care how powerful that person is. The person is still not God. Do you have a relationship with God? What is your foundation in faith? Because if your foundation of faith is not solid, trauma can make you lose your faith. I nearly lost mine. But I know that one of the things that I said, but when we were young, this wasn't how the people that related with us as Christians, they weren't behaving like this. That was what helped me. Because I felt if I got born again under the ministry of that person that abused me, right? I will not be a Christian today. I won't. Because that would have been where I got born again, and then I still saw that abuse in that so-called Christian church and everything. I don't know. But I was thinking, I said, when we were younger, we used to go for camps. We used to go to my parents' church. We used to relate with other Christians. They weren't behaving like this. They were kind. They were good. they were this, they were that. And I was like, so that means something is not right somewhere. Something is not right somewhere. I said, God, please, just show me. And God said, a human being can misrepresent me. That doesn't mean I am what that human being is. And then it led me to Matthew 7, which I've already told you about. On that day, many will come to me and they will say, Lord, Lord, we did so many mighty miracles in your name. We cast out demons in your name. We prophesied in your name. And I will say to them, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity, for I never knew you. For me, that was it. I never knew you. I never knew you. And for me, I'm just like, what? You never knew them. And then it goes on to say, for by their fruits they shall be known. So you see, there's a lesson there. It's not God's fault that I got abused. Yeah. Wow. I didn't know what I just said now. I didn't know it before. And if you've experienced abuse and you're struggling with your faith, I want you to write that down. Write it on your book, write it on your phone, and write it on inside your subconscious mind. It is not God's fault that you were abused. No, it's not. God is a good God. He's always a good father. That's who he is. He's a good father. Hi, I see you all that just joining. Dele, Raf. Hi, good evening. Hi, everyone. He's a good father. But a lot of times, we're only gentle as a dove. We're not wise as a serpent. And that affects us. And that is why when you begin to heal, you will realize that God is gracious. I was saying jokingly, somebody were having conversation and the person said, oh, you know, a lot of the things that they say to keep people bound in abusive relationships, and they say what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. And the person was saying jokingly that, well, is it God that put it together in the first instance? That some of these relationships used to question it. Is it God that puts together, or you just decide that I like this person, we like each other, let's go ahead and make life sweet for each other? But God hates abuse. In that same chapter 7 of Matthew, it says, if you human beings, mere human beings, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more me, your heavenly Father, will give good gifts to those who ask. God is good. God is gracious. Somebody might have misrepresented God to you. Sorry. But do not let that incident steal your relationship with God. Because like I said yesterday, when on the day of judgment, we are going to stand before him as individuals. You are not anybody's wife. You are not anybody's husband. You are not anybody's dad or mom or child. It's just you, your first name, Jola. Come and give account of your life. And there's something I love to say, never be too ashamed or too scared or too weak to make decisions today that will correct the mistakes of your yesterday. Sometimes you know that, okay, I've made a mistake. Everybody makes mistake. One of the things that hammered on the rise above your past is, see, mistake is not a big deal. You made a mistake, so don't die. Don't say, hey, come and sit down. Join the WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group, mistake makers. We all make mistakes. It's part of life. But don't be too ashamed to make decisions today that will correct the mistakes of your past. Imagine you decide that, okay, I'm going out and I want to wear my high heels, and you know that you're not really that Good. You know, some people they can they can rock 6 inches any day. I remember my PBO. Oh, God bless her soul. PBO will wear 6 inches in the house. I remember when they went to greet her, she was, Mr. Jola. And I was just like, how is she even doing that? So you know you can't really rock 6 inches. You are carrying your 6 inches. You went and then you are walking like this, and then you fell down. And because you fell down, people were there. You now stayed down there. I've fallen down. I can't stand up again. Let me just stay here. And I shouldn't have worn this shoe. You know, people will begin to be like, okay, is everything all right? If you fall down, get up. Tomorrow, then when you're going out, you wear your trainers. Or you get up and then the next day again, you wear the same 6 shoes and you fall down again. Something is wrong somewhere now. Never be too ashamed or too weak or too afraid to make decisions today that will correct the mistakes of your past. It's in the past. You cannot do anything about it. All we can do is learn. Learn from the mistakes of our past. If all that you take away from tonight is the fact that God is good, I'm happy. Because God is good. God is not the reason why you were abused. And I know you have questions. I can feel your questions. So, but why didn't he stop it? Why did he allow it? Why did he do it? Why did he do that? Listen, God gave human beings the power of choice. And God is a God of order, is a God of process. I was saying to someone that the fact that you are praying, you say, oh, this person is abusing me, but I'll stay with them and be praying for them to change. That is love. Oh, God, please. Get street sense. Is it that God did not hear your prayers? No, God heard your prayer. Because God can go and talk to the person and tap the person and say, why are you abusing this person? Why are you treating this person like this? I don't want you to do this again. God will ask because now the decision is that person's own to decide to hear God and obey God or ignore. And God will not force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. He said, in fact, choose you this day whom you will serve. I present before you life and death. Choose. Choose now, whichever you want, choose. He will prompt you. He will guide you. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. So unfortunately, that person that is treating you bad and you've prayed, God probably has spoken to them. They just decided not to obey God and do their own thing. God is not the reason why you're abused. And I want you to get on that journey of healing. Remember one thing I said, I think yesterday also, is that there is pain and there is purpose inside your pain. And nothing can truncate God's divine plan for your life. The Bible says God makes all things, not some things, not the good things, not the things that you did, you made the right choice. All, is that thing under all? Is your trauma under all? Is that mistake under all? All things to work together for the good of those who love him and who are called according to his purpose. If you fit, I love God, check. I'm called according to his purpose, check. Guess what? The negative experience you've had in your past will work out for your good. And you will say, if only if not that I went through this trauma, I won't be here today. Go and ask Joseph. Go and ask Joseph. Do you think Joseph could have made it to be the prime minister of Egypt if his brother, because his brothers abused him? Excuse me, that is abuse. He went through. No, that was abuse. Childhood trauma, neglect. If Joseph did not go through all of that was what? It was shaping him. It was building him. It was making him a better person. But all through, we can see that he had a relationship with God. For at every pivotal point, the Bible says, and the Lord was with Joseph, and Joseph was a prosperous man because God was with him. Was it prosperous? Does that mean that he had a lot of money? No, because he was a slave. He was in the prison. But prosperity is not limited to finances. Prosperity has to do with the state of your soul. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. All things. I want you to write that down, write it in your subconscious. All things, including the negative experience I've had in the past, is working for my good. Working for my good. Hey, I'm excited. It's working for my good. We're talking about how trauma impacts victims. I still got quite a lot to say, but I would try and summarize. So, trauma affects the victim emotionally. Like I said, it breaks your confidence. It makes you have low self-esteem. It makes you think you are not good enough. Nobody cares for you. Nobody loves you. That is why if you don't heal, you will realize the next person that comes to say, oh, you are pretty, you are nice, you will follow them. And most of the time, right, you get abused again because you don't have good esteem. You don't feel good about yourself. Before you can say, I want to get into a relationship with somebody, right, you must be the person that that kind of person will want. These are some of the things I teach in my church singles classes. The law of vibration, right, is primary to the law of attraction. Healing is non-negotiable if you want, right, a future that is better than yesterday when you've gone through trauma. Don't sit there. You can't be, my spiritual mother would say, you can't be pitiful and powerful at the same time. Yeah, there was a bit that people say, sorry, sorry, sorry. But at a point in time, you get up, you dust yourself up and say, no, there's value. There's purpose. I got to start going. My past is in the past. I can't go back to change anything. But today is here. And tomorrow is a blank check. I got to heal and move forward. So trauma affects you emotionally. Now, I've not said this. Let me say this. Trauma also affects you physically. So if you experience physical abuse, of course, that would impact your physical. But even if the abuse was psychological and emotional, it deteriorates. Research has shown that between 75 to 90% of the diseases that people experience is as a result of trapped negative emotions in your body. And guess what? Trauma, when you're going to trauma, negative emotions fill you. You are sad, you're upset, you're angry, you're bitter, you're frustrated, you feel inadequate, you are empty. All of those feelings trapped inside your body. Trapped inside your body. And I know what I'm saying, right? I went through 16 years of domestic violence and abuse, right? And in 2005, I think 10, 10, no, not year 10, year 12, 13, yeah, right. At some point, anyway, during that relationship, I developed cancerous tumor on my shoulder, right? Sorry if this upsets you, but I need you to understand that what we are saying is real. And the tumors grew over time. The first time I noticed the lump, it was one. I went for a biopsy. They said, oh, it's just a lump. There's nothing there. About 2 years later, I realized that the lump was now 3. I went for biopsy. They now said, oh, we are sorry, it's cancerous. We have to operate. What? Trauma. Trauma. Now, science has shown that when you are carrying a burden, right, depending on the kind of pain that you're experiencing, you have pain in different parts of your body. I don't have time to break it down. But we are carrying the burden of children or the burden of a spouse, right? You will consistently experience shoulder pain in your shoulder. The burden of a spouse or the burden of children, you're constantly worried about your children or a spouse or pain in your shoulder. But in my own case, it wasn't just pain in my shoulder. It deteriorated into cancerous tumors, cancer, because of abuse. So trauma will affect you physically. For people, let me share this one. For people who struggle, for a long time, I struggled with digestion and constipation. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Until I realized that unforgiveness, right, and bitterness affect your digestive system. Oh yes. Because when you remember that person, your inside will goes like this. Ugh, nonsense. I can't live it. So it's affecting your digestive system. It's affecting your excretory system. Sorry, I have to say it. It gives you constipation. So this mind-body connection is real. I said to people, don't allow what happened to you to keep happening to you. It happened to you. It wasn't your fault. Somebody did that to you. But what are you going to do to yourself? What are you going to do to yourself? What are you going to do for yourself? Unforgiveness. Pain. There was someone that was telling me about this pain suddenly just started in her leg because she experienced some trauma and she was so bitter and angry with that person. And they did x-ray, and until months later, when she started forgive, the thing just disappeared by itself. Negative emotions deteriorate into diseases in your body. Simple one, just simple one. Tension headache. You're upset with somebody, you're angry, and you start to have, I remember when I was in that relationship, I used to have, migraine was like a normal thing. Migraine. The kind of migraine that I used to have, medication couldn't take it away. I'll be rolling on the ground. I will put flannel, towel into water. I'll put it on my head. Trauma is horrible. Trauma is horrible. So it damages your body, right? It isolates you. Of course, you lose relationships when you are in there. Spiritually, you are trapped. It confuses you. You are wounded. You don't know, is God really good? You know, I don't understand why God allowed this to happen to me and all of that. But I told you tonight that the abuse that happened to you is not God's fault. God is not the reason. God is good. He's a good, good Father, right? So we need to heal. We need to heal. You need to heal. You need to get on the journey of healing because you carry value. The earnest expectation. They are waiting for you. They're waiting for the manifestations of the children of God. Before I say something, I say, I'm not a man. And I'm sorry if you've experienced abuse or you are experiencing abuse. I'm sorry you have to go through that. But I want you to know that you can heal and you can still become everything that God has ordained for you to become. It's okay that you made a mistake. You trusted somebody too much. You thought they were this, you thought they were that, and they ended not being that person. But you need to begin the journey of healing. You need to begin the journey of finding yourself again. You need to begin the journey of making peace with God, the most important. Do you think that God will be happy with anything or anyone that takes, he said, anyone that take that, I can't remember exactly how he said it now in the Bible, that anyone that causes any of these children, right, to stray away from it, that's not exactly the way he said it, I'm just paraphrasing, that it's better you put a stone on that person's neck and sink them inside water. I mean that God, anybody, anything that makes your relationship with God, right, gets into a troubled state. God is not happy with that thing. God is not happy with that person. God is good. God is love. And I want to challenge and encourage you to begin to go ask him questions. Somebody says, oh, we can't ask God questions. He says, come now, let us reason together. We can't question God. It's different from we can't ask God questions. We can't question his sovereignty, his power, his might, his omnipotent, omniscience, the great and mighty God. We can't question him. His KBAC. There is none like him. He's the CEO of the whole wide world incorporated, the El Shaddai. He reigns and he rules forevermore. But he says, come now, let us reason together. Come. Let's talk. You can ask him question, God, why is this one happen? Why did that one happen? What do you want me to do? Why this? He's your Father. He's your Father. And I'm going to just challenge you If all you do tonight at the end of this life is just go back to God and be silent in His presence, the Bible says God is close to the brokenhearted. El Roi, God sees. Sometimes you think God doesn't see. Hagar was abused by Sarah. And God appeared to her and said, look, there's water there. Go and get water for your son, get water for yourself. God sees. Somebody asked the question that the other day, why does it seem as if these people get away and their life is better? It's not true. Psalm 37, it says, don't frizzle out. I'm just paraphrasing now. Don't get it twisted that wicked people are prospering. No. God is not mocked. But what I say to people is forget about what is happening with that person. Focus on yourself, on your journey, on becoming a better version of yourself. Ask yourself, what lessons have I learned on this journey? And begin to put them into practice in every area of your life. Because listen, you carry value. You are special. You are enough. And God loves you more than you can ever comprehend or imagine. I am the Soul Doctor. My name is Jola-Grace Emmanuel. And if you're joining us for the first time, very, very, very welcome to you. I'm a certified life and trauma recovery coach. I help people who have been through any kind of abuse to heal, to thrive, and to grow. You can connect with me. You can send me a DM. You can use the WhatsApp link in my bio on Instagram. And I think also it's somewhere on YouTube to connect with me if you want to book a one-on-one session with me. On the 16th, 17th, on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of this month, we are having Reinvent to Excel 7.0. And it is virtual, meaning that you can connect with us from anywhere in the world, right? Because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We're going to have people that are survivors that are going to come and share their story. And you better know that abuse doesn't just happen in the home. There's someone I'll be talking about abuse they experience in the workplace. It happens in different places, right? So you want to make sure that you secure your seat for Reinvent to Excel 7.0. We're having Reverend Funke Adetuberu will be coming. Pastor Akin, I remember everybody, Pastor Akin Pelu. Oh my goodness, Lord help me. We're having Pastor Lizzie Davids. We're having Pastor Bobby Egbe. We're having Dr. Anthony Michael. Yes, they're all on my page. Please go and check it out and register. It's free. Send it to people, get them to register. It's going to be amazing. And remember, October 15, the final day of this awareness. Now, listen very well, listen very well, is my rebirth day. Emphasis on oh. It's not my birthday. My birthday is November 15, but October 15, and I don't believe it's a coincidence. Exactly a month from my birthday, and I will explain to you on the last day. You don't want to miss that last day. My rebirth day. I'm going to be 8 years old on October 15, my rebirth day. If you don't get it, forget about it. But no, I'm only joking. If you don't get it, you will get it on that day. I love you guys. I'm so glad that you decide to connect and just join in the conversation tonight. Like I said, this is day 3 of 15. Tomorrow we're back again, same time, 9 p.m. If you have a story to share, if you have questions, please get them ready. Connect with us, join in the live, and let us together create awareness, because many people are dying for lack of knowledge. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, YouTubers. Have a good night, Instagram. Bye for now.